Bonjour everyone, Pentuf here today for a new video in which we are going to analyze once more the special Halloween mechanism that is dropping on the pharoah called Desert Forces. Not necessarily for itself, because we already did, we know what it does, but maybe on how this little skill that seems quite little at first could impact the game forever. For the brief summary, Wargaming in a stream yesterday revealed the pharoah, talked about Desert Forces, the main mechanism, and if I had to sum up the mechanism real quick, it's called Desert Forces, and it will allow you to have better mobility on certain maps and on some others, having the possibility of getting a decreasal in the repair speed, or an increase by 50% of your repair speed. It's better to say it like that. And obviously, at first, when you take a look at that, you're thinking, okay, that's nice. It's not that big, not too much of a difference compared to other tanks like a Dracula, for example. But there is one detail. It's going to be able to work only on desert maps. What if Wargaming was testing abilities depending not necessarily on the tank itself, but rather on the maps? Just imagine. Picture this. We have, the year is 2028. We have multiple tanks in the game, and Wargaming announces an update in which every single tank is going to get a brand new mechanism. Like every single tank in this game has a cool mechanism that it will be able to work with on different types of maps. For example, the E100 can reload faster on city maps. Mouse will have, I don't know, maybe more armor on desert map, etc, etc, and the list goes on. If they did that, they would totally change the gameplay, but most importantly, they would make the whole game relevant again in terms of mechanism. Don't blame me straight. I'm not telling you that Blitz is overdated and things like that. It's not the case. Blitz is still rocking. Still, the vast majority of tank players are playing World of Tanks Blitz and not any other games, and they still have beautiful days for themselves. But what if they are actually testing this mechanism to see if a mechanism that works only on certain maps is relevant enough to be used widely on many different other tanks? And if it's the case, I can tell you that it's definitely going to change the game forever, because it's going to make it definitely more interesting to play. Of course, it requires from Wargaming to really know what they're doing, because there are certain limits that we need to talk about. First of all, the frustration. If you do have a tank that is better because of those statistics on certain maps, when you play on the maps where it doesn't have the ability, you are going to be a little bit pissed off. You are going to be angry, because usually when you play a tank with special abilities, that's because you want to use those special abilities. So if they did something like that, they would need to have the exact same number of types of maps equally shared. Like if we have, let's say, a tank that is focused on desert for its mechanism, we need to have 3 maps in desert, 3 maps in city for the other tank that has its abilities that are used in city maps, to finish off with, I don't know, rainy maps, forest maps. But you get it. We need to have an equally shared type of maps, otherwise some tanks will be advantage over others. Now the second thing, and I already talked about it a little bit, it's the frustration. Obviously, as a player, if all of a sudden you know that you have some special abilities and you nearly never ever get to use them because you're unlucky, as simple as that. Let's take the example of the pharoah. You never get desert map, therefore you don't get the Desert Forces mechanism, and you're gonna be a little bit pissed off, right? And it could harm the game more than just releasing new stuff that could be interesting. Now, of course, we gotta wait for Wargaming to see what they want to do. Maybe it's only going to be available on this one tank. Maybe it's going to be available on other tanks. We don't know yet, but hopefully we will get something interesting enough to make a lot of content for you, for us, YouTubers, for pretty much everyone. And what comforts me in this idea is the fact that every single Halloween tank beside the Pharaoh, obviously, not a single one of them is actually equipped with such a mechanism. The Gravedigger had a fast autoloader, okay, Smasher is not in Halloween tank, I don't know why it's here. The Annihilator, 3 shells in a row. The Dracula repairs instantly its tracks. The Tankenstein had the choice between 2 guns. I don't feel like the Tankenstein had anything, or maybe it's the fact that you can't kill crew members on the Tankenstein, must be that. Same for the Lycan and the Elsing with the double shot, but not a single one of them has something based on the map you're about to play it on. So yeah, for me it's definitely a test from Wargaming, and hopefully it will allow us to understand that yes, we want to get something like that added into the game, and why not globally to every single tank this game has to offer. So hopefully you enjoyed, maybe that you share my idea, maybe you think I'm wrong, maybe you think I'm right. Tell me in the comments, and personally I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye!